Hi, Konstantin here. Welcome to the first exciting episode of our Job Site TV. So today we're going to be starting a kitchen refinishing project. Alright, let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna seal the rest of the house with plastic masking tape. We don't want to have any dust elsewhere in the house other than in the spray booth area. White tape can go on plastic to plastic or paper to paper. It's extremely sticky and it works really well on the walls. We typically use this light green stuff because it doesn't have that much of adhesion and it doesn't peel off the paint. Frog tape works really good too. It doesn't have that much of adhesion as well, so we use it on the finished walls like so. Time to take all the hinges off. We simply remove all the doors and then we batch process everything that we can batch process. So we take off all the screws and then take off all the hinges and keep them somewhere safe. We want to remove all these old bumpers because obviously we can't spray over top of that rubber. When we're all done, we're gonna put new ones, but these old ones are gonna come off and we're gonna throw them all out. Alright, now it's time to degrease everything. This is what we use for degreasing, and here's how we do it. So we mix it with water and use the sponge to rub it on. So we want to make sure that there is no fat or grease left on the doors before we get to sanding. Otherwise, you know, the primer is not going to stick to that fat. So we gotta get rid of it. Here's what we're using to clean off all that degreaser. Alright, so we started the sanding process. We're using these two guys. This Milwaukee orbital sander. We hook it up to the vacuum. We have this fancy IVAX switch, which is basically the same thing as the Festool or any other automatic vacuums have, but this is just way cheaper. I think it's only like 60 bucks on Amazon or something. And then we use this surf prep sander, which is a 3x4 sander. Works really well with all the profiles and stuff. So, you know, we really like the you know, the convenience of this foam abrasive. It will go into all kinds of different profiles. We want to make sure that we, you know, knock off the edge, knock off this sharp edge here. If it's too sharp, the primer, the material will not adhere and eventually it's going to chip off, you know, easily. The sharper it is, you know, the worse. We got pretty much everything ready, everything sanded. We're gonna dust off everything and we'll be ready for primer. Before we get to spraying, I just want to, make a quick point of importance of safety stuff. So we always use charcoal filters, spray suits, and we also run these two yellow fans with the filters on them. So these guys are going to move the air outside through the window, which is completely sealed, and we're going to have some air movement, from that side of the room go into here, so there's going to be no dust, no spray mist in the air. All right, so we have all the cabinet doors here, and some of the open concept cabinets, taken apart, sitting on the spray rack here. Some of the crown moldings as well, and all the cabinet doors. We're gonna spray them all on this spray stand that we built a long time ago. It has, some bearing, so it, kind of like spins freely. Fancy stuff. And then we're gonna spray one side at a time, and then, once it's dry, we're gonna flip it over and spray the other side. Here's what we're using for the primer. We're going to be using airless sprayer with 208 tip from Graco or Graco. It's a fine finish low pressure tip, and we're running it on very low pressure. And the primer is called Bin primer. It's a shellac based primer. I'll just show you the label real quick. That's the one. The reason why we use shellac-based primer is because of its bonding qualities, and also it levels out really nicely after it's all sprayed out on the surface. Alright, we're pretty much ready to do the boxes. And here's the question: what to spray and what to brush and roll. Ideally, we would spray everything, but in certain situations we simply can't spray and we have to brush and roll. We are definitely spraying these guys, these columns here, because they need to be, nice and smooth. All of these open concept cabinets are gonna get sprayed. Everything from underneath there is gonna get sprayed. Also, all the kick plates all around are gonna get sprayed, and this panel here. The reason why we don't want to spray the frames is because, first of all, it's way easier to roll. The finish is going to look pretty much the same just because of the products that we use, because of its leveling qualities, and also it's almost impossible to mask off these guys, the frames. If the cabinets have a frame, that we can mask them off from the back side of the frame easily, and then spraying them becomes a breeze. All right, we're pretty much ready to spray. And probably the most important part of the video is what finish we use. Unlike regular semi-gloss acrylic paint, even like the most expensive, let's say Benjamin Moore or semi-gloss or whatever, this paint that we use, it's actually a polyurethane enamel. It's not a regular paint. You're constantly cleaning your cabinets from the grease, you know, fats and stuff. You would want to have something really durable. Also, it feels completely different. It levels out, this polyurethane enamel, like, you know, like nothing else. And here it is. In this particular case, we used an Italian product. The brand is Milesi, and it's a 2-component waterborne polyurethane in white base. 20-degree sheen is what we used, and it has to be mixed with the hardener. So this hardener for the polyurethane enamel makes it chemical resistant and scratch resistant as well. The best thing I love about this product is it's waterborne. We can spray in the house without being worried about formaldehydes, like, you know, that smell, like that bad stuff that usually comes with your solvent-based lacquers or, you know, conversion varnishes, right? It's okay if we're working in the shop and if we're, you know, finishing some new cabinets that will be, you know, sitting in the shop for a long time until solvent completely evaporates from the surface. But since we're in the house, we're doing refinishing of existing cabinets, we just simply can't afford to have that smell in the house. Now we have everything sprayed. Look at this rack full of doors. Now they're all dry and ready to be put back up on the cabinets. We put the new bumpers on, this rubber things. We put this cabinet back together. You know, basically it's just a lot of screws going from underneath and then from the top. This is, you know, fancy cabinet for wine glasses and for wine bottles. It was way easier to disassemble the whole thing and spray each individual piece separately and then put it all back together instead of spraying everything and, you know, having a lot of runs and, you know, weak spots. Also, we took off all the crown moldings, sprayed them separately, you know, quickly glued them together and nailed them with the 23 gauge headless pin nailer. And now the crowns are back up. And this is how everything turned out. Now it's basically a brand new kitchen. I am really happy with the results. And obviously our clients are happy with it too.
Hope you guys like my first video here on YouTube. Obviously, as you can see, I haven't had a chance to film the outro on the job site, so I'm here in beautiful British Columbia filming this outro for you. I hope you got something helpful out of this video. Let me know what are your tips and techniques are. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a great day. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.